Hey friends, this is David Bedrick, and I'm here to do UnShamed Live. I just realized I neglected to announce that I'll be doing this. That happens sometimes when I have a lot of things on my plate. Hey Dawn, I will catch you in a couple of moments. I think if you hit something, wanting to connect or trying to connect or something like you hit something, then I'll be able to catch your request to connect or something like that. So find that. So in a minute or two when we try to get you on, that'll be easy for me. There you go. I see the request. Okay, so I'm just going to talk for a couple of minutes, Dawn, and then we'll bring you on. Always being present with folks is important to me, and I notice I have a lot of feelings with my move happening and lots of changes in my life, so my body is in an experience of change and some grief today around things that didn't get lived in my former life, the life I'm about to move from physically and emotionally. I always start on UnShamed TV with some lines from Galway Canal. The opening line is, "The bud stands for all things," meaning everything can be looked at as a bud, and it can flower with the right kind of witnessing. And I call that an unshaming witness. A shaming witness is one that looks at your difficulties as if they're a pathology. That's something wrong with you. That's a symptom, like an illness. And we ought to try to heal that by making it go away. And unshaming, hey Jody, is quite different. Unshaming looks at the difficulties, your anxieties, your depressions, your trauma responses, your fawning, your fighting, your dissociating, your headaches, your etc. Looks at all of that as if there's something growing in there, like an alchemical process in the midst of your difficulty. So we want, when we unshamed, to relieve your suffering, but we hold that suffering as if it can be flowered into something magnificent. So unshaming has a connection with mystery and shadow and darkness. And by that, I mean, we don't look, hey, alchemy. Oh, you're welcome, Jody. And sacred soul, hey, we don't, we go into the darkness, the mystery, because we think something is living there. It's not my answer. It's not my protocol. It's not my solution to whatever problem. It's your medicine being revealed, and that's the deep faith in an unshaming. Some of you may know about my UnShame monthly medicines. Those are rather inexpensive. If you want to join that, they're $45 a month. You just need some prereqs that are also inexpensive if you haven't done anything with me. You can snoop that on my link tree on my bio. Okay, I'm going to find Dawn and let her in, and then we'll see what's on her mind. Okay, let's see if we got that. That happens, and we'll see. I think I just let her in. Let's see if that happens. I'm trying to. We did. It worked.
Hello.
Hey, Dawn.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm just adjusting my phone to not chop off too much of my head. How's that? That's the wrong way. And we'll go a little bit. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Give me a second to adjust a bit. That's probably a little bit better, I think.
My screen? I haven't done this before, so I think maybe I'll just scoot back. Maybe that'll do it.
Sitting back is always good, and then we can see you better. Dawn, do we? I don't think we know each other. Do we know each other?
Don't.
We don't know each other.
No.
Okay.
It's
We're chopping off your head a little bit. If you could adjust just so it's a little, we can see your face and some of the rest of your being. That'd be great.
yeah. Hold on. I'm having it.
I know. We're all trying to figure it out. It's okay.
Is that
That's better.
okay? That's better.
That's great. Hi there. What prompted you to volunteer to be on UnShamed live TV today with me?
Well, it was a while ago when you asked for volunteers, and time I was following the your I put my name in the hopper, and then I kind of disengaged from all of those conversations. And then yesterday, Kieran reached out to me and said, "Hey, tomorrow night, would you fill in?" And I said, "Well, I guess it's time to be thinking about."
Right. Your words are coming in and out, and I'm not sure why that is, Dawn. Yeah. You can intuitive. Whoever wants to volunteer, you should just message me, and I'll have my person reach out to you. Dawn is going to get to find something. I don't know what, something to help the sound. I'm thinking. Look. No, it's not. I'm not sure what's happening. Try getting a little closer. Maybe you need to be closer. I'm not sure.
I'm having to. There, is that better?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
Okay.
tucked inside the front of my drawer to try and hold it up, and so that was blocking it.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you. Say what can I help you with? Maybe, at least maybe, meaning we'll do our best, and then I always think life decides more than me and more than even you what happens, right? You know, I think we do our best, and then I don't know what life or the spirit or the earth or something else decides how things go and where it goes. So tell me what's on your mind and heart, and I'll be looking down sometimes like this, and that means I'm taking notes.
Okay. Well, the last 10 or so years has been, I went through a really tough time and kind of went from the person that I knew myself to be to being kind of underground.
Oh.
And the last couple of years I've been kind of slowly, moving towards the surface, I guess. And, but it all just seemed to just be kind of happening. And I have begun to really notice that I'm missing my own energy, my own, I know myself to be the type of person who, when I see something that I want to do, I go do it. And I've kind of disconnected from that part of me, I guess.
And what did you do when you weren't going to do it?
I'm sorry?
When you used to be a go do it person, and then what have you been that's not a go do it person? What have you been like?
I have been doing nothing. I've just been kind of floating and hiding and just ignoring anything that that doesn't feel soft and fuzzy. And even then, even so.
I want to hear that again. You were ignoring anything that seems soft and fuzzy?
It doesn't seem.
That
soft.
Doesn't seem. Oh, I see. You wanted only soft and fuzzy stuff, and other than that, you didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
More or less, you can edit me, correct me, or help say whatever it is that helps me understand that, because that's very important, you see, because you're describing two ways of being.
Right.
One of them is a go-do-it person that you said that's more like you and was more like you 10 years ago. And then there's another person, so to speak, or part, somebody would say, if they were doing family systems work, whatever we call that, it's another part of you. And then she doesn't do anything. She floats, hides, and ignores things unless it's soft and fuzzy.
Yes.
I got it. Okay, that smile and your yes tell me that at least I got the words for it. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, because I have an unshaming way, and that means that I have to understand and get to know each part of you, not like it's a bad thing. So I have to look at the go do it person in a positive way, and you already do that. And then I have to look at the doing nothing person in a positive way. I mean, I have to see what she's about. So I don't look at her with judgment. Like I'm not going to look at her as a doing nothing, ignoring person. I'm going to look at her and understand her. You're going to say something.
I used to, kind of think about phases of my life in kind of chapter titles. And there was a period of time when, that chapter was the rock star and the worm. And I am both.
You're a rock star and you're a worm.
Yep.
Oh, well, I want to know both of them.
I'm getting tired of the worm.
I know. I have to know a little bit about that worm before we throw the worm overboard, so that it's not thrown away out of a sense that something's bad about it.
Right.
Not that the rock star shouldn't take over more and be more of your life and fill your life more, but then we have to make sure that we're not doing that by thinking this is a bad thing I've been screwing up for the last 10 years, doing nothing, and I'm tired of it. That sometimes leads to backlash. I mean, you try to get rid of something, and then it kind of goes, you haven't embraced me enough yet, I'm back. And I don't want that to happen to you. Otherwise, we come up with a quick solution. Let's go rockstar, and we can go rockstar and get happy and go do it. And then the session can end great, and you can be really happy, and other people can go, wow, she's a rock star. And then I predict, you see, that a period later, you're nodding. Oh, and then you have to feel bad about yourself, or I have to think I didn't do a good job, or you think you didn't do a good job. But the truth is, we didn't get to know the doing nothing person, and that doesn't look as pretty to certain people, but we have to get to know her. Doing nothing person says, I don't want to do anything unless it's warm and fuzzy.
Right.
I want to know that. What's it like when you're treated other than warm and fuzzy? For her, not for Rockstar. What happens when she's not treated warm and fuzzy? What does the worm do?
Goes underground.
Great.
I think the word that keeps coming in my head is, that's like my introvert side that needs the solitude, needs the cocoon, to just be safe for a little while.
That's beautiful. And can you imagine in your mind's eye or feeling, imagine that you're literally underground, not like you can't breathe underground.
Right.
You're literally like a worm. You've dug in and you're underground, and feel, Dawn, in your body. What happens to your body feelings, your sensory experience down in the earth, underground?
I think it's like an insulation where I don't have to feel anything.
I love that. And can you take a moment, Dawn, and explore? You have to go slow here because it's not an easy thing for most folks to do. Just hang out with feeling nothing. Yeah, just go inside of yourself, forget about me and other people who are watching, and then feel nothing. Just hang out in your body. This is what a belly is like that feels nothing. This is what a chest is like that feels nothing. This is what a face and arms are like that feel nothing. You keep doing that, and I'm just going to talk to everybody else and say, I don't know where we're going, you see, everybody. It's a mystery. I just know that the space that she goes in needs to be witnessed clearly. Mm-hmm. Feeling nothing. That's a very special kind of feeling. Mm-hmm. I know that because Dawn goes there and has for years. So it must be a really important place and a special place that I want to get to know, so shame doesn't enter if she decides to leave. Mm-hmm. What's so good, Dawn, about feeling nothing? Mm-hmm.
There's protection.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And stay with that sense of being protected. Keep feeling deeply, Dawn. What happens to your body when it feels protected? Feel it inside. To pay attention inside your body being, your legs and your torso and your throat and your jaw. What happens to you? Imagine you're getting more protected and more protected and totally protected. What happens to your body? If your body could shift its posture, what would happen to it?
It just relaxes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And it relaxes in a way that there's like this image of my mind, you know, starting to move around in like a library inside.
Fascinating. Your body relaxes and then your mind moves around like in a library. Incredible. That part I didn't know. The relaxing I imagined might happen, but the library, I never would have known that. I'm saying that to Dawn and to everybody. That's a mystery to me. That's marvelous. Mm-hmm. And go ahead and look with your imaginary eyes. Look around at the library inside your mind. Tell me about this library. Are you in a certain section? Is it a big library? Are the shelves tall? Look around in that library and tell me what you see.
Lots of old books
Uh-huh.
I would find boring, but that have, you know, knowledge.
Look, you're zooming, you're cutting out again on the voice. I'm just saying that because I don't want to mess up our tape, and I want to hear. Yeah, yeah. You may have to move just a drop closer to whatever the phone, I guess, is probably. Yeah. Try
Okay.
that. Mm-hmm. Let's try that. Mm-hmm. Tell me again, they're old books?
Yeah, old books and the kind of books that a lot of people might find boring.
Uh-huh.
You know, reference books and textbooks and the ancient knowledge and
Textbooks, reference books, and ancient knowledge. Oh, isn't that important? Dawn's been studying ancient knowledge. Somebody says she's doing nothing and ignoring life and hiding. And someone else says, I've been in a library, an inner library, reading texts and references and studying ancient knowledge down below the earth. That's an unshamed description, you see. And it's important to me to learn that so that it's held properly. Mm-hmm. Tell me about ancient knowledge. What kind of ancient knowledge do you have, Dawn? I don't know this about you. I don't know much about you at all. Tell me about ancient knowledge that lives inside of you. Mm-hmm.
maybe ancient isn't the best descriptor, maybe more timeless. You know, the types of things that are outside of all um, the noise and the negativity and or the things that people fight about. You know?
Wow. That's so important to me. Some part of you could live on the doing world, the rock star, that's great, but some part of you lives in a timeless world, outside the noise, studying timeless knowledge. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I, it, I think something that's really important to me is to be able to communicate outside of conflict.
Yeah.
I mean, conflict is important, but there seems to be just so much conflict and for its own sake in today's world, and I just feel I don't feel safe there, I guess.
You don't feel safe there, and a part of you doesn't live there. A part of you lives in timeless knowledge that's not a conflict at all. Mm-hmm. I'm framing that, you see, because if we say she doesn't feel safe in conflict, then somebody might say, let's help her be safer in conflict. Well, that's great. That would be great. Yes to that. But that's not the whole story, you see, because
Right.
being good at conflict is important. I teach conflict resolution. I like that.
Sure.
But then there's a party that says, no, David, not in conflict. There's a timeless knowledge, a timeless wisdom that's independent of conflict. Don't forget that.
Right.
You're nodding. And teach me something from that place, can you? If I'm a person who's involved in outer world and conflict, and you were speaking to me from the timeless wisdom outside the noise, teach me what you've been studying for the last 10 years, seemingly doing nothing. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm trying to understand love.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm trying to understand how to behave and receive love in a way. I mean, when it's all wrapped up and intertwined with all of the noise and conflict of engaging with my own self and with I love and that love that are they have all their issues too.
Yes. That's important. I have a partner. We have conflicts at times like other people, and that's important. Then we got to work out our differences and all that stuff. But then the glue that holds us together is not that. It's very important to do that, but the glue that holds us together has nothing to do with those conflicts. It's beneath all that. It's down in the earth. Beneath all that stuff, there's something we can call love. I don't even know how to describe that, but that's the glue. The rest of the stuff, interesting, important, but it's not the essence. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm struggling with trying to find how to be at peace with the love that I'm given, even though it's not a love that I understand.
Yeah. Can you see if this works? Can you close your eyes for a moment and go back underground? And I'm going to say why I'm saying that, but you stay there, keep going down there. And I'm saying that because we're talking about things that she has questions she's bringing up. How do I do this? How do I love and receive love in these situations? And I'm thinking, friends, I don't have the answer. I think that underground librarian worm woman has the answer, you see. And that's why we're down there. Mm-hmm. So stay down there, Dawn, and feel the relaxation and the protection and the quieting of the noise, and be in that library with the timeless knowledge, and believe in it with all your might. Believe in this is a place of timeless knowledge. That you're hungry for that you have a special hunger for that knowledge. You're not just avoiding and hiding and doing nothing, that you have a special hunger for that kind of timeless knowledge outside the noise. And just stay there as deeply as you can in the dark down there. And I'm going to be a person, Dawn, who lives more on the surface. I like that too, because then there's people and rock stars and stuff. But I get into all kinds of conflicts with people, and I lose touch with the timeless wisdom about love that you have down there. And stay there. You don't have to open your eyes. Stay down there. We want to connect these two worlds so that when you decide you're tired of being down there, you don't lose touch with it. You don't come out and say, okay, now I'll do Rockstar World, even though it's conflict and noisy. You want to connect these two worlds. That's the unshaming way. Stay down there and breathe into that darkness, that library, and that ancient, timeless wisdom, knowledge that lives in you. Mm-hmm. And please help me. I'm a person who's on the surface and it gets noisy, but I get confused about how to take in the love. Dear worm woman under the ground, can you please teach me? Give me a message. Help me out. I don't want to lose touch with you. You know something that's timeless that I forget up here. What is it that I forget, that I lose touch with, that you down there are so close with? Yeah, I need your ancient knowledge, you see, to help me live in this surface world. I see the quiet. Great. Stay with that ancient knowledge about love. Me and the rest of the world need lots of that. I want to read the book of Dawn with her ancient knowledge about love. If I open that book, what might it say? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah, you got it.
There has to be a connection. Have to stay connected. In
Oops, you're fading again. Just turn your head a little bit. Sorry. I don't want to pull you out of your state because it's such an important state. Mm-hmm.
Is that
I
better?
think so. Tell me something more about love and connection. Help me understand that. I need to learn.
It's almost like you have to keep the roots in place
Uh-huh.
to allow the things to flow up into, the flowering side.
You're saying to me, when I go to the surface, keep my roots in place. Don't lose my roots.
And because that helps to keep the connection, that so the distractions don't, it keeps them in perspective.
Uh-huh. If I lose my connection with the roots and the earth and the ancient knowledge, the timeless knowledge, then I'll get distracted with all the noise in the outer world. I'll lose my
Right.
perspective.
And get all all tied up in nonsense.
Yeah.
The extraneous to
Yeah.
to whatever
Mm-hmm.
is happening.
But I lose my roots, all this person over here, and maybe another part of Dawn says, I lose touch with my roots, and then I lose my perspective, and then I get caught in the conflicts and the noise. How do I keep connection with my roots? Dear worm woman, underground, ancient knowledge, timeless knowledge woman, I'm sorry. I don't want to make you go away. I thought you were just hiding out and doing nothing down there. I didn't know that you were staying close to the timeless wisdom. And if I lose touch with that, I'll lose all my perspective and get caught in all the noise and distractions. And I'll forget about the love, the deep love thing. I'll lose touch with the love. That wouldn't even be worth it. Then I wouldn't want to come to the surface. How do I keep connection with my roots, with you? I don't want to throw you out. Mm-hmm.
I think I have to learn to close my ears to outside voices that tell me that the buried part of me is somehow not a good thing.
Yes, you have to really do that, because some people will say you're hiding and you're ignoring and you're doing nothing and it's time to come up and now and that's enough of that. And that's in your head now too. There's a voice inside of you that says the same thing.
Exactly.
And then shame wraps itself around and says, well, this is a problem, this underground person. She's a problem. She's got protection and safety issues to resolve. Let's help her resolve her traumas so she doesn't need so much safety and protection. That's always good, but if you think only that way, you won't know she's not only needing safety, she's in touch with something that the surface people are totally lose perspective about.
Right.
That's very important to know about her. Otherwise, she'll be misinterpreted. Mm-hmm. People will pathologize her. Oh, she has safety issues. Okay, let's solve her safety issues so that she can be on the surface. But it's actually the surface person needs the intelligence of the one down there. The surface person's got the problem. They can be superficial and get distracted and get noise and forget about love. The one down here is actually the healthy one. She's got the medicine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all flipped, isn't it? Somebody says, the surface one, the rock star, she's the healthy one. This one down here, we have to get her over that so she can be up on the surface. And the one down here says, what are you talking about? I'm in touch with the timeless knowledge about love. You're all got the problem. You're all distracted and conflict and noise up here. Stay close to me. I'll show you the way. Oh, it's a reversal. Mm-hmm. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's very important. Self-understanding, because people will pathologize you and say, why you've been doing that and how come you're not more out? And you should say, oh, dear friend, are you out of touch with the love and the deep wisdom? Oh, I'm sorry, you must not understand. Then they need teaching. They need you. You're a teacher, you see. And the reason I know that, Dawn, is because you've been in a library studying timeless knowledge. That's a teacher. However you define that, a classroom or writing posts or writing, I don't know, however you teach or talking to a friend, there's a teacher in you about love and the timeless knowledge about love that the surface folks and parts of us need to remember. Mm-hmm. That's who you are. That's who you've been learning to be down there. Mm-hmm.
I have always been uncomfortable with the idea of being a teacher. Although I have always been willing to help others learn.
Yeah, that's a good way to help. That's a good way to teach. Help others learn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the teacher that you are. Mm-hmm. You know, the word education, because I'm a teacher and I thought about that, what you just said a lot. And the word education comes from the Latin root educere. It means to educe. It means to draw out. So I don't teach you by explaining life to you and, Dawn, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Right. I try to help you learn. That means I teach you by drawing out of you intelligence that I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known to say, oh, I know what you're doing down there. You're connecting with the timeless knowledge about love. I couldn't have taught you that. But I can teach and educate by believing in you so much, unshaming, I call that, that draws that intelligence out of you. Already, the knowledge is already in you, not in me, but I know how to help you access it.
Right.
That's a kind of a teaching, you see. That's not a person who just knows all the answers and tells people, like how to study math in second grade or something.
Right.
Yeah. It's a wisdom teacher, you see. Wisdom teachers are all kinds of things. They tell stories, they deduce, they ask people questions that they don't know how to answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. We should close in a couple of minutes. What's on your mind or heart? What would be most useful to you, or what has been most useful to you?
Well, I'm going to have to spend some time reframing my thoughts about being a teacher, you know, having a teaching role, or having an educating, being in the role of an educator, and find a way to not be uncomfortable with, you know, just when the word teacher comes up, to be like, oh, not me.
Yeah. Right. And then when you think, oh, not me, then go down under the ground. You do that, then you kind of go, oh, give me a minute. You just called me a teacher. And you go, close your eyes, and you go down on the ground, and you cut out the noise outside and inside. And then you read from the inner book, the timeless book that lives inside of you. And you say, when you call me a teacher, I think that's not exactly the right word, because I'm not exactly a teacher. But knowledge is important to me, and I want to help you learn. And then you say the things that are inside of you. That's you. That's genuinely you. And that's wisdom. You see, teaching would be a simple answer, but you would say, I know that because you just told me. You would say, I'm not exactly a teacher, but I can help you learn. That's already got me thinking. I'm already like, whoa, what's going on here? Who is that person? You're channeling wisdom then. That's what you're really like. You got to keep those roots. The surface person will get confused. Should am I a teacher? Am I not a teacher? But the underground person will just channel. She'll just read from the library.
Yeah.
That's you. And reframe what you're doing down there. No more, I'm not doing anything, I'm hiding, I'm ignoring. That language will injure that wisdom teacher.
Okay.
You have to remember, I'm not doing nothing. I'm studying ancient, timeless knowledge and connecting and making roots enough so I can live in the world, be myself as an educator, as a helper of learners, be myself so I don't get caught in the noise. That's what I've been doing. Hold that as precious, because it is. I'm not making that up. You're telling me that. I'm not saying you should appreciate yourself or accept yourself. I'm saying I'm learning from UnShaming what you've really been doing there. The only thing different is I just believe you when you tell me these things, you see.
Yeah.
I have no reason to not believe you. You're not trying to fool me. You're not playing a game with me. You're going deep and telling me who you are. So I have zero reason not to just totally trust you.
Yeah. I can tell that this conversation is going to percolate.
Great.
And probably over the next couple of weeks, you know, there will be some things that come out of that, you know, that pop up, you know. There'll be that book that is in the library that just is like, oh, hey, it's time for you to read me now.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to do it. Percolate is a good thing. That means what we're doing together in your above the earth mind, but then let it percolate down below. Underground is where the transformation for you happens. Some people do it above ground. Teach me how to tell a person I have boundaries, and then I teach you kind of go, back off, I'll block you. And that's great. That's above the ground knowledge. That's good knowledge and very important knowledge.
But then there's beneath the ground knowledge. That's where you're interested. That's where your worm person takes you. And she says, it's okay to come back out and be a rock star. Don't lose your roots to me.
And I think down there, you know, sometimes I process more slowly,
Yes.
but I think that actually is the right pace for me to in that level of learning.
I understand. Some learning is very quick. Like I said, well, learning a boundary is not only quick, but I could tell you how to do it, and then you can maybe learn it. Or I can give you the times tables, and you can learn that. Or I can give you scripture, and you can repeat it. But taking those things into your deep heart, that doesn't happen because you can memorize. That's a different thing.
Exactly.
That cooks over time. I love poetry, and there's some poems I've been reading over and over for 30 years, and sometimes I'll read it and I'll kind of go, oh my gosh, I never understood those 3 lines before.
Yeah.
How did that happen? It's been cooking for a long time on the ground. It was deeper wisdom than I could take when I was 30 years old. I'm not putting myself down. It just didn't make sense to my 30-year-old brain and heart. And now I'm like, oh yeah, a lot of humility.
Yeah.
A pleasure. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for doing this in public. It's a big thing for a lot of people, and it's great for me and because I'm an educator, you see. And one way I think about educating is let people see what I mean, because I talk about shame and unshaming, and people have lots of different ideas about those things. Well, it's really this, and some shame is good, and this and that, and people argue with me about it. And I always think, let's stop the noise. The debate is good. No, you need shame, you don't need shame, and all that stuff. And I say, okay, now we've done some of that conflict. Now let's go for a deeper learning. Let me show you what I mean, and then you can witness it, and then you could disagree with me, right? You could say that's not for me, and then don't follow me, or don't come to my classes, or whatever. That's fine. But the seeing, you see, I can't describe adequately what you and I just did, because it's a feeling and a connection and an intimacy and a mystery that goes places I didn't know it was going to go. I couldn't have known to explain it. So that's really important to me.
I appreciate the opportunity. You've given me a lot to chew on.
Great. Let me ask you this question, and you don't have to answer now. Would you be okay with me writing about what we did together? And I wouldn't use your name and stuff. I would just say, but I would go right back to what we did here, and I might even show dialogue, like she said this and I said this, because I'm working on a lot of writing and projects, and I write on internet, but I'm working on a new book called UnShamed, and sometimes something happens and I think, oh, that's a great example of something that's better than all my intellectual expression of it. And then I think, and I think it just helps what we do together to become educative for people who might not ever be here.
Right. Well, yeah, absolutely. Feel free to.
Thanks. I'll probably write you a note about that just to make sure that's okay, because I don't want to put you on the spot, and your consent is really important and things. Yeah, but I protect you if from people trying to figure out who it is and those kinds of things. That's not the point.
Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining and holding a space. Thank you, Dawn. It's great getting to meet you. Yeah, somebody says, I got so much, and it helped me uncover things that have been troubling me. Oh, that's good. I'm going to read. If anybody else has statements, I'll read those. There's only 15 people here, but that's okay. Other people will see it, Dawn, and it will go onto YouTube. But if anybody else has a statement, you can make that now, and I'll take a look. Somebody says, yay. Thank you, David, and thank you, Dawn. Yay. Somebody says, thanks for the videos. I love to gain insight. Oh, thank you. That's really good. It's good to know that it's helpful to people. For years, I've been thinking, I have to have a TV show. I have to have a TV show. And that was before like internets and things like that, you know? So I'm like, how am I going to do that? I don't know. But I guess this is creating it, and it's just getting going in the last few months. So cool. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm going to sign off. Bye, Dawn.
Bye, David.